In the last video, we talked about what to do at level 50 as far as deciding your character's role, deciding their specialty, and sort of optimizing their stats for that. And then we started a match on insane mode, insane difficulty, to start getting new gear. And you may have found throughout that maybe your barricades weren't strong enough, they were getting destroyed rapidly, or your towers weren't dealing enough damage, or that your character wasn't hitting hard enough to really kill enemies, and you may have lost, you may have won with difficulty or whatever. But you should have noticed your character's strengths and its weaknesses throughout that match. And the whole intention of the hero deck is to have multiple characters that cover each other's weaknesses. So my apprentice can put down really strong towers, but what it can't do is protect itself very well. It has a barrier, but it's small and only has 20,000 health. So to make up for that bad barrier, I would then have Squire, who's specialized to make really strong barricades. And so now I can protect my strong tower, even though it doesn't have much health. I can protect it with this really strong barricade. And I can get rid of that. And now my two characters cover, and my knight doesn't necessarily have strong towers. He only has 847 DPS. This one has almost 5,000. So my knight can't really do damage, but he can keep my towers that can do damage safe. So these two characters cover each other's strengths and weaknesses perfectly. And then that'd get a little deeper even with my third character, who's built for strong physical damage with his towers. For a lane that has high magic resistance, I can put down my physical damage tower here. And then for lanes that have really high physical resistance, I can put down my magical towers. And so now we have three characters all covering each other's strengths and weaknesses. But then all three of these characters do really low hero damage, so they can't really go out and fight monsters and help the towers out. So what we do is make a huntress, and then I have that huntress specialized to do all sorts of hero damage and ability damage, so that she can stand out with the towers and help them fight and keep them safe. So now that's four characters all working together. And then even further in, we have a monk who doesn't necessarily have strong towers or abilities, but what he can do is add support. He can put down a boost aura, and that'll power up all the towers that are in its range. And he could put down a healing aura that will heal any hero standing inside of it. And now that these four heroes are all working together, this one comes in and just adds even more support to him, to just kind of glue everything together. And so with that mindset of every character has a purpose, one character shouldn't be good at everything, because trying to make them good at everything will just make them bad at everything. So if there's 5 things you want to be good at, just have 5 characters each good at one of those 5 things and use them appropriately. And right now on PS4 you have to pay at least $15 for the game. That gives you enough gems that you would be able to purchase several extra characters beyond the 4 that you have. So keep that in mind if you find out there's something you can't do and you want another character to do it. And just don't hesitate to purchase a slot and just swap them in and out of the decks. But you may think, well, it's a lot of trouble to level these characters up. Well, that's another concept that we'll cover right now. And that'll be, let's say you have a level 1 character. You would just start a match, use your level 50 character that we just built in the last videos to place down their towers. Like I'll use Turd Henson, who I just built. His towers aren't great necessarily, but they're good enough to clear. You can easily clear free play hard stages and do your rotation using only your towers by this point. And if you can't, just keep playing insane. Even if you don't finish the level, just keep looking for items that'll power up your defenses so that you can run a level 1 through free play hard. And in just a few games of free play hard, you ought to be like level 20 or 30 by then already, and just rapidly power level your character up. And you can have a full deck of level 50s and start making them work together pretty quickly if you just power level them in that way. And that's just the last of the concepts I wanted to get out for starting your end game. And then in the next series we'll look at, in the next video we'll look at moving on from insane and working multiple characters at once to kind of keep them in suit with each other as far as their item power levels, so that they don't get too far behind each other and they continue to support each other. So we're going to try and get Turd Henson some gear so he can start supporting with his ballistas. And you'll see how just the whole concept of farming and moving up in difficulties goes. And hopefully we can move from insane to Nightmare 1 in the next video.